There's a war going on, the books can't escape from the team. The morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. Bet's gonna cover, bet's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for a Wednesday, April 30th. Wow, we're cruising along here. We're done with April here as we get ready for playoff action tonight. 2 games in the NBA and 3 in the NHL. Caught me by surprise there, ready to go with the show. I was watching the start of the tennis match here between Mira Andreeva and Coco Gauff as we're into the action here today in Madrid. We just saw a couple of finals in. Man, Mira Andreeva, talk about old. Andreeva, the superstar now, if you will, almost just turned 18 yesterday. Here she is in this big match against Coco Gauff just underway. And we saw Iga rally from that first set down 6-0 to Keys and win the next 2 sets for a win there. And Arnaldi defeated Tiafoe here early on. So we got some great action here today. And of course, we got Champions League later on this afternoon. We got daytime baseball as well. So we got a busy show and a busy day after yesterday's action. Thank you for joining me here today as we get together for our sports betting action here today. How about last night? How about the games last night? Teams back with their backs to the wall, kind of coming through in some, if not several games here last night, and but not all of them, obviously, with the Indiana Pacers and that terrific comeback, or was it a Pacers choke probably there? They led by 7 with 35 seconds left. Pacers win it in overtime, 119-118 there with the key turnovers by the Bucks late, and the Pacers are able to capitalize and advance. 3rd year in a row, the Bucks are out in the first round, and a lot of people spelling the demise possibly here of Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's a time to just break it up in Milwaukee, see if they can, maybe move on from their superstar and look to the future. Just didn't quite work out for the Bucks. They haven't been able to get back to where they were previously, but the Pacers will advance there. Also last night, New York loses to Detroit. They still lead the series 3-2, but the Pistons are clutch on the road with the win last night. Also, Celtics did destroy Orlando 120-89. The Celtics smashed, and Boston wins that series to move on as well. So we know matchups upcoming here, of course. Boston waiting for the winner of that New York-Detroit series, and Cleveland, of course, will play the Indiana Pacers. And then late night, the Denver Nuggets take control of the series, or, they're in control of the series, winning at home behind Jamal Murray's 43 points there yesterday, and they were able to get the win by a score of 131-113. So I was trying to find the winners yesterday. I had a premium big winner with Orlando and Boston over, but I think I whiffed here on the show yesterday pretty much. So let's try to pick it up today. Hopefully you guys had some good winners yesterday in the NBA. Say hello to some folks in the chat here right now, and thank you for joining me here today with Cash Kane. Good morning. NYC Bar is here. Joe W. is here as well. Nuke is here, and he's showing his cashers yesterday. including the Pacers, the Senators, and a parlay in Major League Baseball. Hey, everybody, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, the fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Hey, hopefully you were able to join us last night in our dual stream. We're starting to like these dual streams a little bit with some of our friends, and we had Sharpie last night. They did a show in the afternoon. They got together in the evening to see how those bets went. It sure is great having great analysts like Sharpie and his props with Mike yesterday. Hopefully you caught our Tuesday show. Remember, we're running a show with Sharpie Tuesday afternoons, previewing the Tuesday card. Yep, Sharpie and Mike going over their favorite prop. Sharpie hits the pitchers, Mike hits the batters. It's a pretty neat little show they have. And then we watched the action last night in the playoffs, and with Sharpie focusing on the baseball, certainly. And let's see who else is here. Old E, thank you for being here today. Robert McCormick, thank you, here as well today. And Cash Kane says, let's like it and smash it here for a Wednesday. Final. Justin's here today as well as we get set for the action now. Yesterday, a few more. At least we came through with a couple of hockey winners, but still just a 50-50 proposition for me there yesterday with the games, because it was the let's see, we've got some steam here real quick. Let's get one in here, why don't we? It looks like the Houston Astros are on the move in this afternoon's game against the Detroit Tigers today. The Astros look like they're moving up here to about $1.20, $1.25 or so, maybe $1.35 right now for Houston today, with Blue Ball pitching. I said it, going up against Job there in that one. So, all right. NHL, though, last night, let's talk about some of these games. The Maple Leafs, man, they lose to Ottawa. Is this the moment? Now, we did have a winner here on the show yesterday. You guys went with Toronto as a consensus play yesterday, but the Senators shocked the Leafs with the win on Toronto ice. I don't want to say one way or the other. Maybe you're an Ottawa fan, but is this where we get the Toronto here it's 3-2 right now in the series after the Ottawa win. They score a shorthanded goal and 2 empty netters. Leafs still lead the series 3-2, but they did lose at home last night, so they'll have to regroup a little bit in game 6, possibly. They're still, in charge, but a little bit of an upset there. Remember, Ottawa has had very good success against Toronto. Was just in this series. They finally lost some games to them. They had kind of owned the head-to-head for a couple of years, and Ottawa may be able to show that they have something against Toronto there in that series. Okay, New Jersey against Carolina last night. Big win for Carolina. They eliminate the Devils there. Sebastian Aho with a couple of goals in that one. We had them on the puck line. They did get the win there yesterday. So Carolina does advance, and they will move on in the postseason here to take on the winner of the series between Washington and Montreal. So technically, Carolina is the first team to advance here in the NHL playoffs here tonight, but we could get some more today. We'll see in that one. Also, it was last night. Let's get this early baseball steam into you. We've got one more here and another game here, day game action, I do believe. We do have that doubleheader today, a makeup doubleheader, but this one is in the first game. St. Louis and Cincinnati, a little bit of steam to the under here with this one between Mikolas and Singer. It's down to 9 over 15. It looks like it was 9.5 under, but 9 over now. A little bit of steam there coming in here on the morning steam show. That's what we do here. We what does Mikey say? We use our technology or something like that. All right. Also, Minnesota and the Vegas Golden Knights last night. How about it, huh? The action here from Las Vegas in the game last night between Minnesota and Vegas. Vegas gets that win to go up 3-1 here, right now, or 3-2. Every series, remember, every series was 2-2. 3-2. Vegas gets the win. We did have Winnipeg on the puck line there last night for a winner, as they were able to hang in there in a close game, 3-2. But Vegas in control there a little bit right now. Going to go back, and Minnesota will get Game 6, a chance at home, but still Vegas on top here right now. And then finally, late night, Game 5, Kings did their home streak run out, and did it cost them the series last night? Game 5, Oilers lead 3-2 now after the 3-1 win last night. The Oilers totally physical with the Kings, man. Big time forechecking, of course, in the game last night. For Edmonton, we had the Kings, man, there yesterday, and the scoring finally calmed down in that series. Darcy Kemper was under fire there and finished with 44 saves, but it wasn't enough, as the Oilers had that big edge there in the shots, especially in the middle of the game. It felt like you had Evander Kane with a goal yesterday, and Janmark with a big goal, and Nugent Hopkins had that empty netter. So Kings weren't able to get their late goal, and the Oilers, man, outshot the Kings 46-20 in that one. The Oilers have won 3 in a row now and can clinch at home in game number 6. Is it running out of time here for my Kings against the Edmonton Oilers? All right. Couple more comments from you guys. We roll along with the show here today. Joe Alvarado is here. Robert McCormick talking about Champions League action from yesterday. And we have our big Champions League game here today as well between Inter and Barcelona. Barcelona favored by a goal. Practically in this one, a little bit of plus money on that, and the total is 3 here, and the action gets underway at 3 p.m. Eastern and noon Pacific time in the Champions League. First leg of the second semifinal today is where we stand there, and Steve Aleftarian is here today. Thank you, Steve, for saying hello, and that is it for the moment. Let's talk a little baseball from the results yesterday and try to find some winners on this card. Hey, we did have you guys, Team Steam. You had the Yankees yesterday. Good job. Good job, Team Steam. Yankees with that crushing destroyed yesterday. Huge win for the Yankees with all those home runs early, and Kyle Gibson might not be long for Major League Baseball. Give him a chance to get untracked a little bit. I know we have Baltimore. There's plenty of room for letting Kyle Gibson improve. But 4 home runs, man, didn't we see this? Pardon me, earlier this season with the Yankees, as they get 4 home runs in the first inning and won that game 15-3. You guys had them Team Steam consensus yesterday, and I had them yesterday here in that one with the over in that game. That's what I had. Yes, the over in that one. Also had a premium pick winner with the Minnesota Twins and the Cleveland Guardians game to go under yesterday was my pick here on the show with Paddock and Bybee, and the 2-1 final there yesterday. Winner for me here on the show. And also, we had a winner here on the show with the Kansas City Royals in that win, 3-1 over Tampa Bay yesterday. I also had a premium big winner on the under there. You guys had the Boston Red Sox yesterday. The Red Sox smashed yesterday with Garrett Crochet 10-2 over Toronto. yesterday. Team Steam winner there. I had the winner in the game between Milwaukee and Chicago White Sox yesterday. As I said, roll with the Brewers on the road on the run line, and I had the winner here on the show with the over in that one between Milwaukee and Chicago. Caleb Durbin yesterday, a 2-run hit there. In that one, we had a winner here yesterday on the show with the Houston Astros, with Diaz, 3 RBIs yesterday, and Houston over Detroit there in that one, as it was 6-4. Houston getting that win. Also, I had a winner here on the show with Atlanta on the run line. Who doesn't take Atlanta over the Rockies right now in Colorado? 8-2 the win there. Smith Shawver with the start, and Atlanta got that win over the Colorado Rockies yesterday for the Braves, and the Rockies are now just 4-25. Also, I had the winner here on the show with the Angels and Seattle game to go over yesterday. Final score was 5-3. As it stuck over that total yesterday with the win for the Mariners over the Angels 5-3. All right, gonna get started here with the picks and the show in just a moment, but I want to let you know that you can get picks from me every day over at winnable.com. This is how I go about it here on the show. I do a show here every day, and I have my best picks over at winnable.com/Ramon. Hopefully give you some winners here. Try to clean this up a little bit in baseball. What happened to the hot streak? But I do have some plays over at winnable.com today. In fact, I already brought one home tennis winner today here with Madison Keys in that matchup over Spiatek. Yes, Iga did get the win, but we recommended the play on Madison Keys plus 4 games, and it was, I think 12-11 is what it turned out to be with Spiatek there. And also I have 2 more plays coming up here at the top of the hour. So check it out over at winnable.com and the free subscription. I've got 2 more tennis plays here today, and you can get those at winnable.com. It's a great day of action here in Madrid. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off those premium pick packages, and you'll get updates from me here today on some more great games in baseball, in hockey and basketball tonight, my best plays. So thank you for everyone for your support here on the Sports Money Network. Pick up those premiums from me. Okay, let's see who else is here. Got some more comments rolling in, and we'll be ready to go here. Nasty Nate, there it was. All those Boston teams, he called it. And just want to mention here, while Nate is here, and I can pay tribute to one of my favorite guys and certainly Nate's favorite teams. I do believe here are new talking about the Red Sox there, and the Futon Bets is here today. But I just want to kind of give a little bit of I can't shout him out. He's not watching, but I want to tell you about one of my favorite guys calling it I'm not saying he's calling it a career just yet, although the Patriots kind of called it a career for my guy Joe Cardona, the great long snapper, the 10-year veteran of the Patriots, was released yesterday. They drafted a long snapper on Saturday, and so it could be the end of the career for my man Joe Cardona, Navy man, Navy veteran, and 2-time Super Bowl champion with the Patriots. He was a long snapper. That's what he did. And he did it pretty darn good. Probably go down as one of the best ever to do it, actually, in the NFL. And Patriots released him. He's a long snapper. He could easily get picked up by another team. But if the Patriots are, taking someone and replacing a great player like Cardona, that might be it for Joe. And he might be it for him in general. But we'll see. But Joe Cardona, 10 years, released by the Patriots yesterday. All right. Andrew G's laughing at the Leafs here. He wants Ottawa to sweep these guys right now in Nine Legacy. I think he had some good plays there yesterday. Let's get ready to get going with our show here. A modest show. We do have a full card of baseball, but just 5 playoff games to look at. So let's start to roll before we crash the markets again here today and go on about our business here. And Andrew says the Oilers are doing it. And Nine Legacy talking about those hockey games as well. All right, let's go with the action here today and see if we're going to be wrapping up some more series here in basketball. Right, where we're losing teams left and right here, it feels like, and we could lose some more here tonight when the Warriors take on the Rockets here. Now, the Rockets are going to be favored in this one. Uh, so, uh, they're home, obviously, and a 4-point favorite here right now. Actually, it's right now at there is some 3.5 out there, but it looks like mostly 4 and 203.5 here today in this one with the Rockets taking on the uh, Warriors here. And look, no matter how you look at it, the Warriors have owned the Rockets, right? I think that's kind of the thing about this series that stands out to me now all of a sudden. Wanting to give the Rockets a little bit of a chance here for the most part, but uh, go back to the fact that the Warriors have still won 17 of the last 20 meetings between these two teams, and I didn't want to maybe overlook that uh, in this series with these two teams. But now looking about where we stand and the fact that everyone's saying Houston here now is kind of a bad looking 2 seed here against a Warriors team that, well, maybe they were better than the 7th seed, in the end, right? Because of the fact that, after acquiring Butler, they did play much better and they feel a little bit rejuvenated with him. They obviously were very excited. And it felt like to me now that the the Rockets here may have gotten the attention of the Warriors, or I want to say that because the Warrior, you're playing, here in the playoffs, you got there, right? But uh, you heard Jimmy Butler with his comments. He doesn't like Brooks. He doesn't like him personally, and there's obviously some testiness going on. You saw that incident even with Curry with that hard foul on the ground, and then Curry gets up and they kind of clashed heads a little bit and uh, had some pushing and shoving and all that. And the Warriors, we know them. I don't know. Are they a finesse team? I don't know, soft, but uh, they've caught the attention of this team right now. And the Rockets are going to have to kind of work here from behind if they're going to get back in this series starting tonight. They haven't looked very good here, obviously, in the series so far, with the Warriors winning the last 2 games to go up here 3-1. Now, Warriors did win that first game 95-85 here in Houston. That kind of set the tone for the way the series has gone when they immediately took the lead in the series and wrestled the home court advantage away from them. It's definitely been a defensive series, although the last game did go over. These two teams have played a lot of unders against one another. In this series, 7 of the last 8 have gone under between these two teams. So let's go ahead, and if you guys want to go with your pick right now, Golden State has covered 11 of the last 15 meetings between those two teams as part of that 17-3 run here right now. And Houston, basically the only win that they've had here of late was that win over Golden State. They've lost 6 of their last 7 games overall. So, did this team run out of fuel here, rocket fuel? Let's go to the chat. See what you think of this one here tonight. And can the Rockets stay alive here? They're favored. So, odd makers aren't willing to, just totally shift it here yet. They figure Rockets can gather it up together and win this game. But man, does feel like the Warriors, like I said, uh, the Rockets got their attention. I think is what I'm trying to say. All right, let's see what else we've got. Cash gain on the Rockets. And Andrew G says the first round hasn't been that great with some of these walkovers, I think, a little bit, or blowout series. But look, this one's good and interesting here, right? Um, Milwaukee obviously didn't live up to anything for sure. Orlando, despite the loss, I think, like said, they just need a little experience and they'll probably do something later on in the future with that roster. And of course, the Oklahoma City series was a bust. Fernando on the over. Philly Eagle Flyer. Good morning. Rockets. Money line for 9. Legacy. NYC VAR likes the Warriors to win outright here today. And Jermaine is here. He'll come back for baseball. Spoons here this morning. Ready to go. And right, 9 Legacy. Nobody. Let's see. Well, I don't know. I think Brooks. I seems like he has attracted the attention of a lot of people. But all right, Rockets desperate here. Houston's got to win. This will go down the wire, so you got to take the points there. Says Nuke. And let's see here. Justin says go over with Sengun. Oh, yeah, I would think for sure here today. I like Sengun today for sure in this one, uh, especially on his points here today. And let's see. And Andrew says they will probably clean house there a little bit or revamp the situation there. Of course, another great performance by Doc Rivers coaching there. All right. That might be it for you guys. I'll agree here with Nuke. And I don't think the Warriors are the type of team to mail one in or get caught up in looking ahead to going back home, maybe to get this series victory. I don't know if they'll win, but I got to take the points here uh, in this one right now. I think the deciding factor for me is kind of that overall streak that the Warriors are just playing so well against this team for the last several years right now. So I am also willing to take these points here with Golden State today. I don't think I can go with a Rockets cover here right now in this one as they um, like I said, 17-20. There's something to that over the years. Rockets a growing program. Yes, have closed a lot of gap here this year.
Final.
They are like we said, the number 2 seed, man. So they should try to be able to extend this tonight. But I've just got to take the points here right now, and I just keep thinking about that dominance here at this point. The Warriors seem to have these guys' number. That's all there is to it. All right, nothing else from you guys, it looks like, in the chat. Let's move on to the other great game here tonight. With the Timberwolves Lakers. Timberwolves at Lakers here. There we go. With Minnesota leading the series here tonight, but at least we are in LA here, Lakers fans, and it looks to me, when you look at the line here, I think it might actually be down to 5.5, right? No, it's still a lot of 6s. There are 5.5s. There are 6s out there. And the total here, about 209, 209.5, 210 maybe even. I think we've got to put a half point on there. Okay, at least. So, It looks like to me in this one that the Lakers might be getting taxed here a little bit because they're in a desperate situation, because it doesn't feel like the Lakers are playing well enough to be favored at this point over the Timberwolves team. I mean, if anything, it feels like it should be even. The Timberwolves are playing so well, it feels like in this series. Yes, the Lakers have been close in those games a little bit anyway, at least a couple of them here so far, and they did win the game number two. But remember, the Wolves blasted the Lakers actually in LA in game one to steal the home court edge, and then won game three big time as well before winning game four 116-113 at home. And now we come back here. Lakers did win game two 94-85 in a low scoring game. And this series is looking more and more like a low scoring series right now when these two teams are meeting. The Lakers continue to maximize their possessions here a little bit, and 6 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Minnesota's gone under in 7 of their last 10 games overall coming in. And uh, also, in this series, Minnesota's covered 5 of the last 7 overall between these two teams. But it's 3-1 right now. Lakers just need a win. And could they cover here, though? It doesn't feel like the Lakers are better than the Timberwolves right now. The Timberwolves seem to have a lot of class here, world-class players. It feels like when you're talking about Anthony Edwards and his play right now seems to be elevated. McDaniels is really shining here, right? We already knew he's a very, very good player, but man, he really is looking terrific in this series as well. So the Lakers' deficiencies are being exposed here for sure in the front court now, finally, between these two. So let's go to the chat and see here, can the Lakers just pull one off and get the win? I mean, I don't want to say I have my doubts, but like I said, it feels like they've just maybe the public sentiment as well. Like, man, these are the Lakers. It's Luka and LeBron. We know we don't want to overhype the two superstars here, right? As far as uh, what what playing together has meant over the last few weeks here of the season, right? And how they've reestablished themselves here in the season as a strong seed. But now the Minnesota Timberwolves have been, even though they've made their own set of deals here in the last couple of seasons, they're kind of more established together, right? A little bit. Don't forget, Reed has looked really good with his 3-point shot as well. And the Lakers, look, they're going to keep this together, and maybe the Lakers are going to be okay with a little bit of adjustments here in the future. But right now, against this team, it doesn't feel right at all that they would have any chance of coming back in this series. But let's see. Maybe you guys can, talk me off a ledge as pseudo Laker fans. Certainly, a little bit of steam coming in here in baseball, real quick, and I'll get to your selection here in this game. But the Royals and the Rays here. We're seeing some steam to the under here, and this one's going to go from 8.5 down to 8 today in Kansas City and Tampa Bay. All right, I'm going to the comments here in the Lakers series, and I'm sure there'll be some Lakers support here that maybe they could salvage. Hey, they're at home, and again, realistically, they only have to win this game, right? And the Sharps are. I don't know. It feels like the Sharps are going to be on the Lakers here, but I don't know if I could do it. Okay, here we go. We got a lot of comments here on this one. And Action Jackson, he was on the Warriors, by the way. He also says Lakers got to win this one. And Fernando says on the Lakers, they will show. I think that's what he's saying, unless he's saying showtime. And as Andrew saying, he says it looks like maybe they are. Like I said, are they really favored by 6 over Minnesota, right? Even at home here? Action Jackson, though, says they need to make a big win here. The 9 Legacy, I think he's on the cover there. Oh, NYC Bar says the Lakers are a consensus here already. Wow. Let's see who was on. Did I miss this? Let's see here. I'm looking for any Lakers plays at all from you guys. I mean, I see 9 Legacy says Timberwolves the cover sprinkling the money line. And I don't see anybody on the Lakers there, but NYC VAR says it's a consensus play from you guys. Maybe he's thinking that Action Jackson there is on the maybe he is on the Lakers. Fernando, maybe this is a Lakers play. Maybe I'm reading it there incorrectly. So, but NYC VAR says Lakers consensus. Wow. I don't know if I'm seeing it here from you guys actually. Robert's on the over here in this one. I'm going to take the I'm not going, not going against Robert here, but he's making his pick on the total. I'm actually going under here in this one with this series, like I said, being a pretty solid under, it feels like right now. Let's see here. Well, Cash King says taking the Lakers. And LeBron looking old there. Jermaine's got a prop here on the free throws. Andrew says that maybe Redick has not been judging it very well, right? Because the Lakers are fading down the stretch, it feels like here. So you guys are calling for the consensus play on the Lakers. I'm really surprised. I'm not sure I saw it there, but I do appreciate NYC Bar tallying it up for us. Team Steam's on the Lakers. And I'm on the under. All right. That's it for the NBA. Enjoy tonight. Just the 2 games. Let's get to the hockey here in this one with the 3 important games here tonight on the ice. And we'll start it off here with the Canadiens taking on the Capitals here, and the Capitals can wrap it up against my Canadiens here tonight. Now, I'm on the Capitals a little bit here with over there at the old confidence pool across the street. I think I went kind of heavy on Washington. This is a team that I need to come through to kind of help me in that pool. I'm not doing that well so far, but I think I'm moving up the charts a little bit. And I'm the heaviest on Washington. I think a lot of people were afraid to go to Washington. Maybe they still are, right? This is just one series, and Montreal was a wild card team. So maybe, just maybe, Washington is getting a little bit of an easier series and they can get out of the first round. But, second round certainly will not be easy the way Carolina smashed against New Jersey, even though Capitals are the number 1 seed here. It's all good for Logan Thompson, right? He was able to get in there, but Jacob Dobis here for the Canadiens is Sam is not going to be in there, it feels like, in this one. But Dobis has been pretty good, certainly so far. So not a problem. But with Sam questionable here and some other injuries for Montreal, including Carrier and Lane here as well. And could we see Protas in there for the Capitals today? I sure hope so here. But let's get your comments or your picks in this one. With Montreal and Washington, can the Capitals wrap it up here leading 3-1 over the Canadiens here right now? And we'll get your picks here. Like we said, if they are able to advance here today, of course, they will take on the winner of the Carolina Hurricanes. All right. Let's take a look how you guys see this one with Montreal and Washington, because Montreal has definitely struggled here on the road. I think that's kind of been their downfall here a little bit. Uh, they've lost 9 of their last 11 on the road. So here in the postseason, that hasn't been good news, as Montreal was able to win just one of the 2 home games here as we go back to Washington. Washington, of course, won the first 2 games at home. Montreal won game 3, and then Washington smashed them at Montreal in game number 4, 5-2. Washington's won 10 of their last 12 games at home. They've beaten the Canadiens in 6 of their last 8 games at home against Montreal. Let's go to the chat here in this one and see what you got. We're going to wrap this one up tonight, or can Montreal? Hey, you know what? I mean, yeah, they lost 5-2. They lost those 2 road games. Montreal had an improved season. Like I said, they've slowly improved over the last 3 years, it feels like. Not able to kind of get over the hump, I guess, right? But nonetheless, they made the playoffs. Here we go with your picks here, possibly. Let's take a look. All right. Cinna figured out here. He says, good morning. He says, no.
Final.
It says, I think he says Timberwolves plus the points. I don't know if he's saying no Timberwolves plus. I'm saying it's Timberwolves plus the points. Andrew's on the Caps here. Cash Game says Caps wrap it up. They've been strong. Philly Eagle Flyer likes over here in this one. And let's see here. 9 Legacy, Capitals on the puck line. A lot of Capitals action here. Now the Capitals feel like a consensus. NYC Bar says Capitals. And Caps puck line for Nuke. They're worried about Dobish there. All right. Philly Eagle Flyer, first period full game, sprinkle the draw. Cinna figured out says, what about the first period no goal stats? Have they been really, has it been big time, you guys? And Nuke says all the momentum from that third period. Robert likes over in the first period here. And Andrew says the Capitals look so strong, he would be willing to put $100K on the game here tonight with the Caps. How about that? And Philly Eagle Flyer says what we saw last night with that game between New Jersey and Carolina could be a little repeat here, it feels like. All right, I'm going to make my move here in this one between Washington and Montreal here tonight. And I'm going to end up here on the under in this one with Montreal and Washington. I'm, kind of pulling for Montreal a little bit. And look, I think they played well enough that maybe the problem is, these empty netters a little bit, but man, it feels like I want to stay kind of maybe with Montreal. But, the puck line really isn't that great for a $1.85 favorite, of course, when you get these playoff games, because they're so close, one goal games all the time, it feels like. So the current line on the puck line here is at plus 1.5 at minus 150 or so, 155 even. So give me the under. I'll take the under here. It is at 6 and it's juiced to the over here. So I'm going to go under with Montreal and Washington. All right. Appreciate it here right now. And we're going to take a few here. Derek Bopp is here today. Wine Time is in the chat. Thank you. And Bill Eagle Flyer says he likes Montreal to score first for a little prop bet today. Next up, the Florida Panthers are going to take on the Tampa Bay Lightning here in this one with another series. It could be wrapped up here today with Florida on the road. And, of course, the surrounding news here of this whole series right now is the situation with Brandon Hagel out of this game with that concussion. And of course, they are also missing another winger up front in Bjorkstrand. But Ekblad, with that suspension, is the neutralizer a little bit. Um, Mikola got off easy. So, can Tampa Bay wrestle one here at home in this series, even though Florida's looked dominant? Uh, certainly that uh, anger of this series, the Lightning are going to roll over, it feels like right now. Are they? Yes. Maybe Florida has exuded their dominance in this series because they've owned Tampa Bay for the most part. They've won 13 of the last 18 meetings between the two teams here right now, and the Lightning are having some trouble for sure in this series. But um, it's a rival. The rivalry's on. We know there's a little rivalry here, of course, with these two teams, but that certainly had to get the attention of Tampa Bay. Will it be enough to fire them up? Uh, uh, can't get eliminated here right now. If they do, Florida would advance, and Florida would end up beating the winner of the Toronto Ottawa series, which, Ottawa extended, we said there. All right, let's see how we're going to do it here right now. Florida won the first two, remember, at Tampa. Tampa won at Florida, but then Florida was able to get that 4-2 win in game number 4 to take control of this series. Let's see how you guys are going to play it tonight in this one between Tampa Bay and Florida. Tampa Bay has gone over in 8 of their last 9 games at home coming in right now. Florida's gone over in 5 of their last 6 games overall. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over here right now. So let's take a look at the chat. Florida and Tampa here. People wondering about Vasilevsky's looked kind of weak here in this series right now. We know that these teams are kind of, when they score, the scores seem to come in bunches a little bit, and that's what's been getting it done here. We've had 2 games at 6 goals, or no, I guess the first game was 6-2, right? Let's go to the chat here in this one, see what you got with NYC Bar starts us off. I think that's Panthers. And I think 9 Legacy lots. Everybody's ready to roll with these Panthers, it feels like. And he's got Joe T says he says, you guys got the Lakers to cover Team Steam consensus. Are you guys even watching the series? He says, how could you guys do that? The starters are going to play the whole second half. Wolves all the way. I was surprised that the consensus was on the Lakers because, man, the Lakers they're going to need a strong effort. All right, Philly Eagle Flyer, first period full game draw. Nuke says he's got a lot of Tampa in this postseason, I think. And Cash Kane, yep, Hagel not going to make it, it feels like. Senna figured out no goal first 10, is that right? Cash Kane here on the over in this one. Robert McCormick is on Florida. Cash Kane says, Lightning will still have Cooch, still have Point. Okay, Nuke says Tampa should have won the first game, but they didn't. Lightning puck line for Cash Kane, and Philly Eagle Flyer likes the Lightning. So look, there's still some Lightning support, it feels like, right? We're not everybody's willing to necessarily give up on this situation for the Lightning, or is it just this one game here? I want to give the Lightning a chance. kind of one that one thing I did do was I kind of steered clear of this series a little bit uh, because I thought there might be volatility, and it was a closely rated series, so I didn't put very many players in the confidence. But I don't put one. I put Cooch in there. That was it. I thought maybe there'd be more volatility in this series, and we still could get it. I think the Sharps are going to prefer Florida here tonight. Actually, uh, I think a lot of the public might be going Tampa Bay here, but I don't think I mind that. All right, let's go. I think that's it from you guys here a little bit. Nine Legacy was on the Timberwolves in that game against the Lakers. And Philly Eagle Flyers said, yeah, this still could go 7 games here in this series. Obviously, Tampa Bay would need this win here tonight. Give me the over here in this one between Florida and Tampa Bay. I'm going over here tonight. One more on the ice here on Wednesday night, and it's going to be the St. Louis Blues taking on the Winnipeg Jets here. Jets $1.75 in this one. The total 5.5 under 30, 35 or so with Connor Hellebuck in goal going up here against Bennington tonight. And let's see how you guys look at this one with Hellebuck coming in here still 47-12. Great season for Hellebuck. 92.5% save percentage coming in for Bennington. 2.69 goals against, but the series even here. It's on pace, on serve, if you will. 2-2 right now with this series. And here in Winnipeg, certainly a considerable favorite here tonight after we saw last game the Blues win 5-1 as they've come charging back here in this series. It's been a home team dominated series. If anything, the Blues were stronger than the Jets in their home games. It felt like Winnipeg won 5-3 and 2-1 in those first 2 games, and then St. Louis, man, rocked 7-2 and 5-1 at home. They outscored them 12-3 at home. While Winnipeg was able to outscore the Blues 7-4. So let's see how you like this one tonight with St. Louis and Winnipeg. Actually, Winnipeg has dominated the series against St. Louis, no doubt about it. 14 of the last 18 meetings between the two teams have been won by the Winnipeg Jets. But St. Louis has had a strong end of the season, although I should mention they've lost 5 straight games on the road right now. For the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone over. Winnipeg's gone under in 7 of their last 8 games at home coming into this one. Let's see how you guys like it in the chat. And obviously, Winnipeg with a big favorite here tonight. Here we go. With Cinna Figured Out says, I'm on the Timberwolves too, Ramon. Don't worry. Yeah, I went with the under Team Steam consensus. I mean, I don't want to get in the way of Team Steam consensus on the Lakers here. So I'm not going to clash on the show with the consensus play. I have big time concerns about the Lakers right now. But the chat was on, apparently, the Lakers. All right. Cash Kane, Jets money line, 9 Legacy, Blues, puck line, and over. Cash Kane's on the over here in this one. And Philly Eagle Flyers says Blues and over or Jets and under. I think he's saying one of the, it's going to be this way or this way, and you got to pick one and then follow through with the total, I think. No goals first 10 for Cinna Figured Out. NYC Bar, like the Jets on the money line here. And Joseph Alvarado likes Florida in that game against Tampa. we'll let it slide. Of course, we don't say let it slide, but let Joe catch up here. All right, I'm going with the Winnipeg Jets on the puck line here tonight. I'm going to take the puck line with the Jets here. Look, they're big time plus money on this puck line. You could get away with laying one if you want, or be in regulation type of player. I always try to stay with just a money line or a puck line here on the show. I like to keep it basic on the morning steam. People are looking for those standardized plays. You can always, go with variations of the plays. But for me, I'll take Winnipeg -1.5 at plus 150 or so in this one to get a blowout win here. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and have them covering here in this one. We're getting the pitching information here for the Reds in that game 2 of the doubleheader. We'll get to it in a little bit, but looks like it's going to be Petty in there for the Reds in game 2. Try to cover that a little bit when we get there. Petty will be the pitcher for the Reds in game 2. Against the Cardinals today. Getting ready to go to baseball here in just a moment. All right, and I think that's it from you guys in the chat. Okay, give me Winnipeg in this one. Here we go. Let's go to baseball. We got a big card. There's, is there 16 games today with that doubleheader from yesterday that was we only lost one game yesterday. I know everybody was talking about the weather there. We did have some delays, but here we go with the baseball coverage. Game 1 of the doubleheader between the Cardinals here going up against the Reds with Miles Mikolas on the mound against Brady Singer. Here in this one, and you have Brady Singer here favored $1. Make sure this price is right here right now. $1. $1.30 or so it feels like right now. Maybe this total also has gone down to 9/15. I'm gonna call $1.40. Possibly here, and 9/15. It might even be $1. Might be a little bit higher than that. 9/15. There we go. In this matchup. Okay, Mikolas, he's 0-2 so far with a 5.71 ERA, 1.5 the whip. Mikolas, the Cardinals are 0-5 with Mikolas on the mound so far this season for the Reds, and Singer's 4-0 with a 3.29 ERA and a 2.06 batting average against. Singer has been good. The Reds have been okay too. They're over 500 right now, up 3 1/3 units so far this season. Meanwhile, the Cardinals, 12-17. This pitching is letting them down here a little bit for sure. This Cardinals franchise they can't seem to get it back to Cardinal form over the last year or two. It seems like right now, just continue to have questions with them here at this point, and they're slowly letting this get away already at 12-17. Now, they weren't expected to turn it around necessarily. They are the Cardinals after all, but you don't like to see this team slipping away 5 games under 500 right now already. A sixth of the way through the season or so as we come to the end of April here. Let's go to the chat here and see. This is game 1 of a doubleheader. I know we're all, doubleheader. You don't know what you could do here. Philly Eagle Flyers see all our questionable pitchers going. Luis is on the Reds here. Cash Kane, Reds first 5. Money line, get in, get out. Cash Kane under in this one. Fernando says, take the Reds on the run line here. And NYC Bar says, I'll take him on the money line. Reds look like they're in a good position, he says here today. Reds have won 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams, and the Cardinals struggling on the road. They've lost 8 of their last 9 on the road. They've lost 8 of their last 11 games overall, and the Reds have a 5-game winning streak. Currently, right now, coming into this one, so good job here. Philly Eagle Flyer on the Reds. Man, that feels like a consensus play kind of here with you guys right now, but we'll see. 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone under between St. Louis and Cincinnati. This one goes off at 12:40 Eastern and 9:40 a.m. Pacific here today between Cincinnati and St. Louis here in game number 1 of the doubleheader. All right. One more here. Here's Spoons. Wow, look at that. 95% of the money. Boy, I hate to be on that side, but I don't know if I can get away from this, even with this tax, because it definitely was a little bit lower, I think, on the opener there. What was it yesterday? Yesterday, the Team Steam consensus was on Cincinnati in the game, and I went with the under. I still like the under, I think. This is game 1 of the doubleheader. So, look, I had a lot of success with the game 1s of the doubleheaders that we had last week. I swept the side in total when I went with a little double play. So, game 1, yeah, I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to take the Reds and the under here in game 1. Give me 2 plays in that one. I'm going to have a little parlay maybe. Hey, Will Johnson here. He had a great day. I wish I was Will. Feels like I'm on a little, I'd say I'm on a three-day bender. I don't know what else to say. I think I was hot for about 2 weeks in a row, and last 3 days, not so much here this week. Will's on the Reds as well. All right. Feels consensus-y, but I'll take the Reds and I'll take the under. All right. Let's get to the next one here right now. We've already talked about it a little bit with the steam that came in on the Astros. And, well, I said it here with the Astros today, going with their top pitching prospect, A.J. Bluebaugh. Bluebaugh, you guys. Don't say what we're all thinking here. This is A.J. Bluebaugh. He is going up against another good-looking rookie in Jackson Joe, but this is Bluebaugh's debut here. So, definitely one of the top pitching prospects in the Astros organization. He's from Wisconsin, Milwaukee, drafted in 2022. He has a 4 ERA in his minor league career, 268 innings as a minor leaguer. Has been starting here over the last couple of seasons for sure, and decent strikeout pitcher. He's 6'2", and steam came in here on Houston today. They're already $1.02, $1.25, $1.30, $1.35 here at some spots right now, and the total 8.5 under 15 coming in here. So let's see here with this rookie going for Houston up against Joe, who don't want to sell it short. Let me also real quick, Cardinal lineup today is in. Both lineups are in for that first game. For the Cardinals, Nootbaar, Wynn, Donovan, Arenado, Contreras, Burleson, Gorman, Pozo, and Scott. For the Reds, Friedel hit that home run. We saw Friedel get that home run. He got his home run ball, and good job by Mookie there the other day to get him that bat. Friedel, McLean, De La Cruz, Lux, Marte, and Steer, Fraley, Trevino, and Callahan for the Reds. Okay, we're looking at this one, though, here right now with Detroit. And Houston here with, as we just were talking about, AJ Blueball. So Houston is on a 3-game winning streak coming into this one, including the first 2 games of the series here, 8-5 and 6-4, as Houston done a pretty solid job here in this series. But Job has been solid. I think everybody's been impressed with Jackson Job. He's got a 2.7 ERA right now, 203 batting average against, a 218 BABIP. He's done a real nice job for sure, but Houston has looked good in this series, and they're kind of getting back here right now. Houston's already now up to 16 and 13 here. Are the Astros 11 and 16 to the under so far. Houston averaging just 3.9 runs per game. Both teams have had good pitching so far this season between the two. Detroit's gone under in 5 of their last 7. Houston's gone under in 7 of their last 10. Houston's won 5 straight at home. Detroit just 4-8 in their last 12 games against Houston. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games on the road. So Houston here getting a little bit inflated with their first-time starter here. Job's still a rookie. All right, let's see what you got here. And all right, here we go. Astros run line for NYC VAR. And Jermaine, I said, don't say it, Jermaine. You guys said it. All right. Houston money line for Will says Tigers struggling on the road here a little bit. Roberts on the Astros. And now I don't want to make the, because yesterday a famous baseball fan, I'm going to say it because it's a true story. You guys probably saw it too, and everyone had a chuckle. But the man who passed away had a chuckle at his own expense, despite the fact that he was 97 years old, I believe they said, and he passed away yesterday. He was a big Mets fan. If you guys saw it on the internet, you probably thought it was a joke, but it wasn't, because the man had been honored more than once, I believe. When they bring the war veteran in, an older gentleman, and hey, let's pay homage or tribute to our veterans. This is a great Mets fan, 97 years old. He'd been honored at the Mets game, I think, more than once. Everyone knew this guy, so it was, and he had said about his own, but they, I'm going to say it right now. Let's give a warm round of applause for our New York Mets fan of the game, Seymour Wiener. I'm serious. Seymour Wiener passed away yesterday at the age of 97. He was a big Mets fan, and his name really was Seymour Wiener. It wasn't one of those, names that they announce when you call in the phone on a crank call and they say somebody's name all funny and it's all, everybody laughs except the person who made the announcement. Seymour Wiener, great Mets fan, passed away yesterday at the age of 97. All right. Cash Kane, first 5 money line. Astros under here for Luis. And Fernando leaning to the over. And Twisted, I hope you're able to I'm not going to go back over everything I just said about Blue Ball. Hopefully you caught that, Twisted. There. All right, guess that's it from you guys. Oh, I better make a play on this one, huh? Between Detroit and Houston here on the side. Been impressed. Houston getting back into it, yes. Detroit having some issues on the road. I'm going to try Houston now. They're already. Let me update the line here for sure, though. I can't get away with saying, "Oh, give me Houston at $1.15" when they're actually. I'm going to call it $1.35 just to put the tough price on there for me, and I'll take the Astros as a favorite here right now. Okay, we're going pretty slow here because I'm pretty slow. And Nuke was on the Tigers as well. Okay, the Marlins are taking on the Dodgers here with Tony Gonsolin on the mound and talking with a Dodger fan, Sharpie, yesterday, and I was giving him a hard time about this Dodgers, these injuries. It's not something to make light of here, obviously, with these Dodgers. Gosh, these Dodger pitchers just continue to get injured. All we keep doing is talking about it. Really. But Tony Gonsolin's here and healthy right now. By the way, you guys here, we're having some steam come in on the Montreal Canadiens. They're taking out some of this plus money here right now. We're showing Montreal here maybe going down to $1.50 or lower. Here, there's definitely a little bit of a move here on the Canadiens in the game against the Capitals here right now. A little bit of steam coming in at some of the sharp books actually taking some action. That's kind of official, semi-official. Steam's never official. Your Steam might not be my Steam, but we're in tune with the line service here, one of the two major line services. This is no joke, even though you might hear the funny noises in the background, the steam and everything. This is kind of what odds makers, some use. There's some different ones out there. Maybe you like Spank Odds. All right. Let's go on, though, here with this one between the Marlins and the Dodgers today. A big favorite, of course, the Dodgers here. Probably too big the way they're kind of look, they're playing great. Scored 15 runs yesterday. Not going to slide them here. They crushed the Marlins, and boy, they're up to 325 here right now. Even at the sharp books here in this one. And after they destroyed Miami, why wouldn't I want to consider them again here today? The only drawback is the fact that on the run line, they're still kind of a hefty price at $1.60. But we don't have that many options, and I don't think I can trust Miami to even hang in there at all, it feels like right now. But some people are willing to draw the line and at that point. Let me just see what you guys have here. Maybe I can pivot to a total a little bit, but gosh, I feel like the Dodgers will probably just roll again today here right now. All right, see how you guys have it. I don't know how deep we can get into this one with Quantrill. He's got bad numbers, 7.83 ERA so far and a 3.64 BABIP. Marlins have gone over in 4 of his 5 starts here right now. As Coco Gauff looks like she is in control here in this one over newly christened 18-year-old Mira. Yesterday was her 18th birthday yesterday. Gosh, I'm old, but hey, Andreeva's got her whole career ahead of her. Man, she's terrific, but she's going to lose today, it looks like. All right, for Gonsolin here, get Gonsolin on his season debut. That's why I'm talking about the Dodgers pitching a little bit. Thank goodness they have other good pitchers that can just step up and step in here. Gonsolin's got to get rolling here, certainly this season, but we've seen plenty of success from Gonsolin with the Dodgers. They've won the first 2 games of this series here. So Dodgers have won 4 in a row. The Marlins have lost 4 in a row here right now, including the first 2 games of this series. 7-6 was the first game, but 15-2. 15-2 yesterday between these 2 teams. I could remember when the Marlins played the Dodgers in the first ever game in Marlins history. I remember listening to it on the radio with Vin Scully, and I was so excited to listen to an expansion team play their first game. And I remember driving around. I was doing a job. I was doing some type of young person job as a career or something like that. That's how the Marlins are pretty old. And I remember that like it was yesterday. All right. Dodgers here and Marlins. Let's take a look at your comments in the chat. With Cash Kane, Marlins money line. NYC Bar likes the Dodgers here on the money line. And let me keep it going here right now. I'm just I've lost my place here, you guys. Hold on a second here. Um, okay, here we go. Luis is on the over. Astros money line for Twisted. Red Legacy, Nine Legacy says Reds money line, Astros money line, and also Marlins money line. Andrew G, it's such a great point. Even though baseball a little bit different there, obviously, but yes, even the best are going. That's what I don't know. We were having a discussion last night, and I uh, beat myself over the head here when I have a bad day, but we're making picks on all these games, and look, uh, like I said, I will bet as much as a high roller. It's just that I play them on all the games, and if I have a bad day, it's because I've lost several games. I play a high volume game, and I want to back everything that I bet here on the show, even if I have to go small on some crappy game where we're making a pick. I'm not gonna just come in here but you can have a bad day when you're making a lot of picks, and but I just try to make a pick. I think everyone might have their favorite game and want to hear something on that game. So, great point though, Andrew. All right. Dodgers run line here, and AOD there, and Spoons. Well, Spoons, what about you? Don't like Joe Davis though? I mean, this guy obviously has a uh, network quality. I mean, obviously, even though he's a younger broadcaster, he's not as young anymore, but the network is uses Joe Davis as kind of one of their main guys there. I know it's hard because we love Vin so much, and you figure who can really replace Vin, but Joe Davis is certainly a pro. Maybe you might. I could think maybe Spoon's kind of an old soul. He's a young man compared to me, but Joe Davis, maybe he's a little too plastic for Joe. Maybe he's a little too smooth, a little bit, right? And Fernando says, and maybe he's talking about somebody else. Maybe he's talking about uh, the other maybe on the radio. Is Charlie Steiner doing the radio this year still? Charlie had some health issues and had to stop, but I think he's back, right? Okay, I'm going to take the Dodgers on the run line at a minus $1.60. I'm just going to do it. Okay, let's move on now to another one. I mean, I'm just going to lay, I'm a little bit tilty. I'm a 3-day, feels like about a 3-day slump here a little bit with my picks. Maybe that's why I'm lamenting a little bit, and going to be hard to get me off the Braves here at this point with the way that they're dominating in Colorado. They're just crushing them every single time right now. Atlanta has won 11 of the last 13 games between the two teams here. Not only that, Colorado is off to an historic slump to start the season at 4-25 here at this point. And I know I keep mentioning Bud Black every day. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under. Colorado's lost 5 straight at home. Atlanta's also won 14 of the last 17 meetings between the two teams overall. Ramon needs his glass, been working here without corrective lens. Only $60, whatever, get 2 pair right down the street. I can't, I'm too lazy to do it or too stubborn to do it. I've had corrective lenses in my life before. I just don't have any right now. But you see me squinting all the time. And Atlanta here won 5 of their last 6, and the price is already through the roof here at this point at 275, 280, and it's already up like 40 cents. So I'll just lay more chalk probably here. The run line's $1.75 with these guys. Atlanta's up to like 290 here actually. But the total here also 10 under, though. I think we're seeing a little bit of move to the under, even though the steam came in on the over in this game, which is interesting because, obviously you look at yesterday's game and you see the number that the Braves put up there with 8 runs, but still went under. And the first game went under. Both games went under so far here. And I tried the over yesterday, and I almost would want to try it again, but I think for the price, I'm probably just going to lay the Braves as a show pick. All right, let's see here, Robert, on the over. This might have been the Dodger game, but Fernando Marlins team total under. Oh, did we already talk about that a little bit? The Fordham Flash, Vin Scully. NYC Bar likes the Braves on the money line. And Twisted, he's too plastic. He's too fake, right? He's too smooth, I'm Joe Davis and the Dodgers here. I think he's really good. I don't know. Maybe Spoons was talking about the some of the others, but I like Joe Davis. I like Joe, and he's doing other sports too. So no value anywhere in this. You're right, Nuke. I'm gonna take the Braves because I'm getting the worst. Braves are getting the worst of it. There's no value in the Braves, but look, and I've been on the White Sox a few times, more than a few times. The Braves, just keep hitting it until it's over. It feels. I didn't say it like that. Charles Sharp here today. Over. God, Charles, I want to go over 2 again, but I mean, I already lost the first 2 games going over when they went under. And Atlanta run line 6-4. That would be an under. Oh, no, that might be a push now, but thanks, Twisted. All right. We gotta move it along here. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Braves team total over for Jermaine. So I'm maybe chickening out here on some of these and kind of just staying with some chalk and see if I can get it done. Hey, some steam came in a few moments ago on the Philadelphia Phillies tonight in their game against Washington with Sanchez, Chris Sanchez here. This total, this line is moving up to 225 here right now with the Phillies and Washington. All right. Next up is my Padres taking on the Giants, and the Padres look good. They're getting some of those, I cover the Padres pretty extensively here, right, as my favorite team. So you get a little bit more Padres news, I guess. But hey, it is my show after all. But no, they're at it. Arise is back, for the Padres right now. They're getting a little bit healthier here. There's nothing wrong with the pitching. That's for sure. And they've got a good pitcher going here in King. For Michael King here, good numbers so far this season. Padres ended their losing streak last night with a convincing win, putting some runs up for sure. King's got a 2.18 earned run average and a 197 batting average against. For Landon Roop, he's looked pretty good. 4.91 ERA, 373 BABIP. The stats aren't there, but he's kept them in games. Giants are 4-1 with Landon Roop in there. So I give credit to that for this young pitcher here. Numbers aren't perfect, but he's kept them in the games certainly here, and they've won the games that he's pitched for the most part. Giants come in obviously playing pretty well. They're half a game ahead of the Padres in the standings right now. In this Wild West so far, this good West so far this season, the best West. For the Padres here, they have won 4 out of the last 5 meetings between these two teams. Here, Giants have been going over of late. 9 of their last 12 games on the road so far have gone over. For San Francisco here, right now. The Giants also 9-1-1 to the over as an underdog so far this season, even though the Padres have been a strong under, we know. 5-11-1 at home. The Giants are 12-4-1 on the road to the over. Padres 5-11-1 to the under at home. So a little bit of contrast there for sure. But let's go with it and see what you guys have now in the matchup here. Padres already up, both teams already up nearly about 6.5 units each. Profitable teams, Padres allowing just 3 runs per game so far this season. They have, of course, right now, you look at all the bullpens in the major leagues. The Padres are nearly a full run, better than the Giants. These are the 2 best bullpens in the league. The Padres have a bullpen ERA of 1.66. That's insane. For sure, unsustainable probably, but hey, we're already a month into the season, and the Giants are number 2 at a 2.41 ERA. The Padres are nearly 3/4 of a run better with that incredible bullpen so far this season for San Diego. I knew when they got the pitching coach from Cleveland a couple of years ago that was going to be a big move for the Padres. Nebula is a very good pitching coach. He might be the best in the game, it feels like to me. All right. We've got some Major League Baseball steam right now coming in a game we're going to preview here momentarily between the Arizona Diamondbacks and New York Mets. There's some steam coming in on the over tonight. Corbin Burns goes for Arizona, and the Mets, I think they might be undecided. It could be Waddell here, but nonetheless, the total is going from 8 maybe to 8.5 here with Arizona and the Mets. We'll get to it in a little bit here. Oh, Brazoban has been announced as the starter for the Mets. Brazoban. So a little bit of a bullpen game here for sure for the Mets. Right now, in fact, Arizona 115 or so, and the total 8.5. All right, but we're on the Padres and the Giants here, and ready to get your picks here right now. Spoon says, yeah, he's a young-looking guy. Spoon, he's a young-looking guy. There, but right, no one is going to be challenging Ben, right? And boy, Ben, he did it almost all the way to the end. If you think about it, right? He almost went all the way to the end, as did my other favorite, Dick Enberg. He wrapped up his career with the Padres, and man, we're losing these guys. All right, here we go. Padres money line for Charles. Jerry's on the under 9 legacy. Give me the Padres again. Padres team total over here for Fernando. Luis is on the under. Cash Kane, Padres first 5. Twisted lean to the under and Padres money line. There's a lot of Padres here. Could be a consensus. I don't know. Robert McCormick on the Padres and NYC Bars on the Padres. That's a lot of Padres here today. You know who is not my Padre? Steve Garvey. Okay. All right, let's see here. I'm going to make my call in this one with the Giants and the Padres here today, and I kind of agree with you, Guy. I want to take my Padres here in this one. I think that, look, I went Giants yesterday. My bad. I'm just looking at the pick here. I'm looking at some of the picks from yesterday over here. Let's see what we got here real quick. Twisted going against his model there. He said lean under in the Padres. So I like the Padres here with King over Roop. Padres, obviously, I don't know what happened in that series against the Rays, but it's not a great price here, obviously, with the Padres right now. In fact, there's no value in the Padres. They were up from $1.30 or so. kind of feel awkward now looking back and seeing that it is. It says $1.50 right there on screen. I don't know why I didn't. I'm not saying I didn't catch it, but it's definitely a 15-cent move or more on the Padres here in this game. So yeah, it almost feels kind of sharp there a little bit too. Give me the Padres. I'll take the Padres today. All right, let's keep it going. Come on, let's go, Ramon. Angels and Mariners here with Anderson on the mound going up against Hancock. In this one, the Mariners and Hancock, $1.40. Here, $1.45, $1.50, 8.5 is the total here in this one with Anderson here, the left-hander. He's 2-0 with a 2.6 ERA. He's been a real bright spot for the Angels so far. A 104 WHIP, 167 BABIP in 5 games. These are not fluky numbers here at this point, although, I don't know if we recommended Tyler Anderson to be, ace of the staff or anything here, but it obviously has looked pretty good. And for Hancock here, he's struggled, 7.71 ERA, 4.17 BABIP here in this one. He's definitely struggled, but the Mariners have won 3 in a row here, including game here yesterday. 5-3, the Mariners won at home against the Angels. Right now, the Mariners are 11-6 at home. The Angels 7-12 on the road. Like I said, we've already seen kind of the Angels start to give it back here a little bit and revert to the form that we're used to right now with the Angels. We did kind of roll yesterday with the over on the show here. I was on another show giving out Seattle on the run line. They obviously crushed them yesterday, but I don't know. I kind of want to give the Angels a chance tonight here with this pitching matchup. Still a left-hander going, and well, let's see what you guys have here in the chat. And give me your play here between the Angels and the Mariners in this one. Angels, they've won 8 of the last 10 games against the Mariners. Yeah, they lost it yesterday, but the Angels have lost 8 straight games right now on the road. Seattle's won 5 of their last 6 here right now. Seattle's gone over in 8 of their last 9 games overall. But the Angels are 3-6-1 to the under in their last 10. However, they are 11-8 to the over as a dog. So let's see what you guys like in this one between Angels and the Mariners here today. In the chat, it's going to be Angels here, first 5 for Cash Kane. 9 Legacy says, take the Mariners again. Luis is on the Angels. Wine Time says, I got to lean under. The Angels are struggling with these bats as usual now. Jerry under on Seattle in this one. NYC Bar likes Seattle. Twisted says, Seattle and under here. Spoon says Mariners could be a little bit taxed in the bullpen here. He likes the Angels. I like the Angels too, quite frankly. In this one, just look. I think I don't think Tyler Anderson's going to go out there and roll an ERA this season of 2.5. But with the Hancock's kind of struggling here right now with the big numbers and the Angels, there's got to be a little something here. They've beaten the Mariners up a little bit despite losing yesterday. Like I said, Angels have won 8 of the last 10 meetings between the two teams. The Mariners maybe have overlooked the Angels a little bit late last season there. So I'm going to try the Angels here tonight as a dog. I've already taken enough freaking chalk. So let me try the Angels here tonight as a dog here at Seattle and play a little bit into the series history between the two teams. Kind of torn on the total, actually. Could be a premium, but I've seen some move here all of a sudden, right? The move looks like it's actually on the under. Is that possible here? So we'll look into it further. Just give me the Angels here right now. Give me one dog at least on this card. That's it for the day games. Let's go to the night action here. Right now, Jerry says Hancock has had 2 solid starts in a row. Guys talking a little soccer in the chat. All right, Twins and Guardians. Let's get underway with American League action, night action here with Pablo Lopez going up against Luis Ortiz. In this one for Pablo Lopez here, he's got a 2.08 ERA. He's looked good. And now the Twins are starting to heat up a little bit with the bats. Yes, they lost last night's game here to Cleveland, just 2-1. They were scoring big time runs. Before that, we know in this matchup yesterday, I was on the under here on the show yesterday morning when we previewed this game, and like I said, the Twins were heating up. There'd been a lot of runs, but I ended up, pulling the trigger on the under here on the show. It definitely was an under. We know that 2-1. The final score there with Lopez and Ortiz. For Ortiz here, he has an ERA close to 6 and a 3.24. BABIP coming into this one. The Twins right now 13-17. They haven't looked good, but they are starting to get it back a little bit. The Guardians right now still 16-13, looking pretty good here. But Minnesota has lost 12 of the last 16 games between these two teams overall, and Cleveland has won 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams at home. You're getting them as a dog here. It's just that Lopez has been the much better starter here right now. But both teams, the funny thing about it is both teams are averaging just shy of 4 runs per game. The pitching, the Twins are a full run better. They're allowing just 3.7 runs per game. Cleveland's allowing 4.7 runs per game, but Cleveland has the better record here. Most of this has to be based on Lopez, it feels like to me, because Lopez has been so strong. He's just 2-1 so far, but see if you guys like this one here today with Minnesota and Cleveland. We'll go to the chat right now and see what you guys have with these two. The widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game. Let me see. In fact, I've got 7/20. That's fine there. Okay, here we go. All right, Spoons went with the Angels there. So, he says he's going to wait on it. It says with that action, maybe it will change. Top Geo is here today. Thank you for being here. Guardians money line let's see. Guardians first 5 here for Cash King. Luis is on the Twins. 9 Legacy Guardians money line. NYC Bar is on the Twins. Guardians money line here for Twisted. And Spoon says Cleveland's looking pretty. It says both teams. I think it says both teams are clear here in the pen tonight for the game between Minnesota and Cleveland here. We know that for sure so far. We have not seen that, I don't want to say typical Cleveland strong bullpen. They're usually better than this by now. The Twins are actually the better bullpen as well of the two teams. So just feels like it's still a high price on Lopez, but the price has come down actually.
Critical notice.
From $1.40 to $1.20 here. Yeah, they're heating up. Man, it's tough to consider this Minnesota team though on the road at just 4-11 right now. And give me the under. Give me the under in this one. I picked yesterday I was all on totals. Today I'm all on the sides. I better take a total here. Give me the under here at 7/20. I can't go under in a premium, I don't think, here right now. All right. And Jermaine there on the Mariners, back on that game. All right, here we go. Next up, the Yankees and the Orioles. Man, the Yankees were blast off yesterday, right? No, how come no one talks about torpedo bats anymore?
Steam play.
Well, they were torpedoing them yesterday in the first inning, but that probably was more a reflection of Kyle Gibson there yesterday, coming back to the major leagues, but not ready for prime time. For Hector Carrasco, Carlos Carrasco here. That's how old I am, Hector Carrasco. Carlos Carrasco here, 2-1 with a 5.26 ERA, 2.69 BABIP coming in. For Cade Povich, the left-hander, 1-2 record, 5.04 ERA and a 3.85 BABIP. Not great numbers for sure from these two so far. Yankees 18-12 so far this season. The Orioles are now 11-18, continuing to kind of spiral a little bit. It's going to be a long year, everyone's saying, for the Orioles. Orioles did win, of course, the first game of the series 4-3, but last night 15-3. Yankees smashed them. Rodon was pitching a perfect game. We were on the air there, and I said, wouldn't it be great if Rodon pitched a perfect game? Rodon's not. As soon as we said it, I mean, it was the sixth inning. He wasn't gonna. Did he make his outs prop and then kind of ran out of gas? I think he actually went another inning after that, didn't he? And Rodon looked good. So let's see, though, here tonight with the Yankees and the Orioles. And it's going haywire here already for the Orioles. They've lost 4 of their last 5. Yankees 10-5, last 15 overall. Coming into this one, Baltimore's gone under in 7 of their last 8 games, but they've gone over in 4 of their last 5 at home. Baltimore's 9-2-2 to the over at home so far, 9-4-2 to the over as a favorite, even though they've gone under here of late with some of those road games. So, but let's see how you have this one at 6:35 Eastern, 3:35 Pacific here with the Yankees and the Orioles here. Look, man, I mean, getting the Yankees at this price against this team. I know I lost the first game here. Do you think the Orioles are going to win a series here against the New York Yankees right now? And in fact, I'm showing the Orioles have actually moved to the favorite here. So, look, I'm sure it's a sharp play. I'm sure that the Orioles are going to win, whatever. I no chance am I want to do that. I don't care if I even lost the first game right now. It feels like the Orioles are ready to spiral if they haven't already. And the Yankees, it almost doesn't matter. I mean, okay, so Carrasco's pitching. Ooh, he's not very good. He's on the Yankees, whatever. You only need to get out there and, throw some innings, get you into the middle innings or whatever, get into the bullpen. Come on, the Orioles. These Povich numbers are not good. They're not any better than Carrasco here. This feels like a premium right now. The widely reported steam somehow came on the under in this game. But let's go to the chat and see what you guys have in this one between the Yankees and the Orioles. All right, I get it. Or I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe I don't get it. Let's go to the chat. Okay, here we go with Luis. Yankees and over here in this one. Cash Kane, Orioles run line. NYC Bar, Yankees run line. And Jerry says he doesn't know about this one. Carrasco's been better, and Povich not so much. Yep. And let's see here. Jermaine's got some props there going. All right. I'm going to go with the over as my official pick, but I don't know. You probably, could read my mind there as far as what I'm going to do in this one. Already lost with the Yankees once in this series. I'll probably try them again, but let me go with the over here as my play after the big bats. The big boppers yesterday went off and looked pretty great. Maybe they'll do it again here tonight. All right, Cubs taking on the Pirates here. You got Matt Boyd going, the left-hander for the Cubs, and Majinski in this one for the Bucks. Of course, the Cubs going to be a large favorite on the road, $1.75 here right now. It's gone down a little bit, though, I think. The total, 9 under 15, maybe 8.5 over 20. widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game. All right, here we go. In this one, you got Boyd. Good numbers, 2.54 ERA coming in so far for Matt Boyd. It's been a good for the Cubs for sure, even though they're just 2-3 with him on the mound. 3.13 BABIP could be some concern that he's had a little bit of luck, but got a good left-hander out there going. Majinski, bad numbers, 6.95 ERA, 3.87 the BABIP here right now. Coming into this one between the Pirates and the Cubs. Cubs have won 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams. 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone over. Pittsburgh has lost 5 straight at home against the Cubs right now. And we know the Cubs obviously playing well. They've actually lost 2 of the last 3 games. However, overall, lost that series to the Phillies is what happened. Pirates, though, 11-19. For some reason, I tried to go with the Pirates yesterday on another channel there, and we had the under here on the show. We kind of chased the steam a little bit. It didn't pay off. So how are we going to play this one here today with the Cubs taking on the Pirates here today? It feels like the Sharps are going to be on the Pirates again, and I can't do it. I just can't do it here. I'm going to have to be chalky because maybe I've gotten a little bit too cute here over the last couple of days and tried some dogs that just didn't work out. And I want to, reverse my field a little bit here. All right, let's go to the chat in this one between the Cubs and the Pirates. And I don't know if I even trust this over steam right now, despite the fact that the Cubs won yesterday's game 9-0. And that's it. I went over, right? I went under in that game at 8.5. All right, here we go. Cubs run line for Luis. Nukes on the Cubs run line here as well. And man, the Cubs are looking good. And like I said, I'm got to be chalky today. I want to have a day of winners, and all right, let me go to the chat here, or that's it from you guys. I got to make my call. And Nuke says it's the Cubs or the Pirates. Why would you go anywhere else? Just take the Cubs, of course, on the run line. They're crushing these guys. The Cubs already talked about these, this lineup and how good it is. Look, PCA, didn't he hit another home run yesterday? I look at this Cubs lineup. Look, go back to the first week of the season. I'm not sure that anybody, look, the Cubs were supposed to have a better lineup. They were supposed to have a better offense this season. I was on them from day one. It felt like going back. I was calling it 3 days in. I said, wow, this Cubs lineup might be pretty good. I've got them right now in the top couple, few lineups. And then they just kept moving up and up and up. And I still rank these Cubs. I'm sure you guys do too. Rank this Cubs offense. You can't ignore the numbers. It feels like, even aesthetically, with this lineup, it feels very, very solid. I almost want to think it, is too good to be true, and that maybe they will start to give it back a little bit. But so far, so good. It's just, the names, right? The names for me, it feels like are, maybe not the usual suspects here. Now, the top of the order for sure. I mean, with Happ, with Suzuki, of course, with Tucker, but Kelly, Bush, look at these guys. Nico Horner, PCA, Swanson, they're doing it up and down the lineup. So I better go with the Cubs on the run line if I'm talking about them like this. And actually, the Cubs on the run line here are basically a pick 'em. So give me the Cubs against the Pirates to keep it going here right now. Embarrassed myself picking some crazy underdogs here the last couple of days. So not the way you should be. Treat every game individually, but I'm gravitating to some of these favorites, I'm afraid, after a couple rough games. Okay, Cubs and over here for Jerry. And for you guys are talking that big soccer match today. I didn't have a good game yesterday in the Champions League. I'm hoping to come back and find a way to get on the game here somehow, some way. Let's keep it going here right now with the next one between the Cardinals taking on the Reds. And I have the Reds right here, no pitcher listed, but we do know now we do know who is pitching. Man, this person should know on the air here. Sorry about that, gang. Thought I had everybody trained. All right. Anyways, here for the Reds, we're gonna get Chase Petty in here today, the 22-year-old here right now for the Reds. We just had it named here, so he's gonna make his debut here tonight for the Reds. So let's see how we're gonna tackle this one. We'll try to get this knocked out here with Chase Petty. Going to start this one, the second game of the doubleheader. Here in this one, Petty started in the Twins organization. He was a first-round pick in 2021, but they traded him to the Reds quickly in that Sonny Gray deal. So Petty's been a big fastballer his whole career. Only throwing 95 or 96 right now. He threw harder before, but he's learned to refine himself a little bit and try to mix in a slider a little bit. He's got a cutter as well and a changeup that can work against lefties, but he's one of the top prospects certainly in the Reds organization, probably a top 10, probably 10, maybe higher. I think maybe even they were talking top 5 here. So for Petty, for sure, he was in Double-A last season, it says here, and had a 4.39 earned run average in 127 innings, and did get promoted to Louisville late in the season. So this right now, the way things are going for the Reds, they're going to have to extend this roster out a little bit. I don't think this is just a one and done appearance for Petty. I would expect him possibly to stay up here right now. This is a doubleheader, so I'm not sure. He could get sent back right after this one. You know, you get to bring up an extra player, and this could be a one-time, but I don't think this is the last time we're going to see Petty this season. That's for sure. So let's go to the chat here and see how maybe I could talk about this other guy, Steven Matz. Maybe you've heard of him, but funny though, he's really just become kind of a glorified opener, hasn't he? So far this season, he's pitched well, but he has just one start. He's made a lot of relief appearances so far this season. He's 2-0 with 8 appearances, a 1.8 ERA, and a 2.06 batting average against and a 0.9 WHIP. So those are the Steven Matz numbers we remember from back in the day, right? But we got a new kind of Steven Matz. It feels like right now. So we're trying to finish the show here right now, and let's see what you have of St. Louis and Cincinnati here in this one. Go into the comments, but I don't think there is a lot here. Cardinals in game 2 for Cash Kane. That's it. You guys are counting on, or also this is the second game of the doubleheader, so I know that our crew is going to have some reservations probably here with and let me put the man's name in there. I don't know why I'm so petty about this kind of stuff, but there he is, Petty here. All right. So we just got this announcement here, so let me run it through my computer again here with an untested rookie here. See what the old algorithm has to say about it right now. I would think this is actually going to be a pretty tough one, maybe for the Reds, since the Cardinals, obviously right now, Cardinals not nearly as good record-wise against this team. Let me get this steam in here real quick because this is a game we already talked about, Detroit and Houston. Seeing some steam to the under again. We've already seen this series here a little bit, but we're getting the steam move on the under here with Detroit and Houston. Remember, we said it was 8.5, but right now it is going down, and we're seeing 8/15 right now at circa. Definitely a move to the under here, Detroit and Houston. All right, and the Reds, they're coming in here red hot. Like we said, second game of a doubleheader here right now between these two. So that might make it a little bit of reservation here for you guys, but it does for me too, actually, here because we want to see the first one or whatever. But I'll go ahead and make my call in this game, and I'm going to try St. Louis here against the rookie. Let me just be on St. Louis. Second game of doubleheader. Anything can happen. All right. Don't hold that one too much. All right, Joe T is here today. Okay, here's Cash Kane says Cardinals game 2 on the reverse run line. He wants to take the Cards here and lay it. And Joe says the if you're under play of the day, Brewers and White Sox on the over. Okay, that's great. I'm glad Joe came in here after I already picked the under and said, "Give me no." Oh wait, we didn't get to that one yet, right? There you go, Joe. Thank you, brother. Let me put that down. Joe T's play is on the over in the Brewers and the White Sox. Okay, thank you, Joe. And Nine Legacy's got some plays here as well. Let's keep it rolling right now. We got to finish this show up here and go to the next one between the Washington Nationals and the Philadelphia Phillies. Man, the Phillies were smashing again last night. We're back to Philly ball, it feels like, here with the Phillies on a winning streak, and they made that great comeback last night after blowing the lead. Washington, 6-3. Washington got that 3-run home run to tie the game, and the Phillies won it late. There with the walk-off. Was it a walk-off there in that one, I think, last night there, right? With 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth inning. The Washington actually took the lead in the top of the ninth inning last night before that home run there. I think, no, what was it? It was a, it was a sack fly, and then what was it, an error or something? I'm trying to remember now. We were on the air with the guys and we were watching some other games, but nonetheless, Philadelphia won the game 7-6 last night. Philadelphia's won 3 in a row after they won that series over the Cubs. You got Jake Irvin here going for Washington. He's got a 3.19 ERA. He's 2-0 with a whip of 1. Batting average 215 against, 235 BABIP. Good numbers actually for Irvin here in this one. I said Jake Irvin here against Christopher Sanchez, the left-hander. He's 2-1. Phillies are 4-1 with Sanchez on the mound, 3.42 ERA, 1.2 the WHIP, but a 338 BABIP has to be of concern, but maybe that's not unusual actually for Christopher Sanchez. He's good, but he sometimes has to work a little bit out of some situations. Still striking out nearly 30% of the batters so far this season is Sanchez here. Let's see what you guys have with these two. Washington's lost 4 of their last 5 games against Philadelphia. They've gone so far this season, Washington just 4-10 on the road. Philadelphia 10-4 on the road, but it might be more important to look at the run line in this one, and Washington is 14-11 as a run line underdog so far this season, although Philadelphia is 8-6 at home on the run line, and Philadelphia has won 9 of the last 10 meetings between the two teams here in Philadelphia. They could manage just a 1-run victory, however, last night. 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Philadelphia's gone over in I think 9 straight games at home. The first 5 games of the season went under. The next 9 games went over, and we've seen runs, it feels like, so far in these Phillies home games right now for sure. Washington's gone under, however, in 10 of their last 14. Let's go to the chat right now in the game between Washington and Philadelphia with Urban and Sanchez. Here in this one and get your play from the chat all-stars. Here we go. It is going to be the Nats. Here are Cash Cane's play on the run line. Luis, Washington, run line. Nine Legacy, though, Philly run line. Philly Eagle Flyer says you got to look at the heads up in this situation that Philly does a pretty good job against them, actually, he says. All right, I'll get ready, I guess, and make my call in this one between Washington and Philadelphia here. What are those numbers, though? Actually, uh-oh. Oops. Okay. I was going to look them up anyway, but that's all right. Sanchez has good numbers, I know, against Washington. What is it? 205 batting average against this potential lineup here. And let's see, we just saw Draper over Paul here. Draper wins in straight sets over Paul. Goff did win, also underway here. Spitolina and Uchijima just getting underway. All right. Phillies team total over for Jermaine and NYC Bar likes the Phillies in this one. Okay, gang. I'm going to make my call here in this matchup, and I'm going to go with the over here right now, the way a lot of these games are going. Man, computer's telling me under here, but right now, you look on the screen there, it says 8.5 under 15 on the screen, but right now, I believe the total has moved much lower here. It's all the way down to 7.5 over at some spots here right now. I look, I understand. Just read off the numbers here, obviously, and you have some pretty good numbers for these guys. They're not overwhelming, but Nationals are allowing over 5 runs per game, and the Phillies are still hitting. I'm going to call it 8 under 20 just to be, but there's 7.5s at half the books here right now. The move is definitely on the under, and I'm not buying it. Give me the over. Okay. Philly Eagle Flyer likes it too. The next up is the Royals and the Rays here in this one, and news here certainly with the Royals today and their pitcher here. This is Noah Cameron. He is set for his major league debut here. Another one. We're almost in May, so Cameron moves up here from Omaha for this one. So he's going up against Rasmussen now here for his debut. Obviously, this would have been Cole Raggins today, but Raggins has that groin injury right now, so he's not ready to go here. And we'll see. Raggins is not going on the disabled list, but Cameron comes up here in this one. He's a left-hander, tall, 6'3" guy. From Central Arkansas. He has had TJ surgery as a collegian, so I don't think he played in his last year or two. So 92 mile an hour fastball recorded mostly in AAA, maybe 93 so far, and a good strikeout rate, 28% in the minor leagues, I believe. Going up against Rasmussen here. Rasmussen, 2.1 ERA. He's looked great. Feels like feels like one of the most effective pitchers going here right now. Still just a 258 BABIP, but a 189 batting average against. Just a 1-1 record here so far for Rasmussen. Rays playing well. They did well against San Diego. They're almost back to 500 here right now. The Royals come in at 500. Still doesn't feel as good as Rasmussen is. You got to give the Royals some credit. And to have the Rays here at $1.75 or whatever it is, just because you're going up against a rookie or so in this one, first-time starter, is that what we're kind of looking at here? You guys are already coming in big time with this one. And here is NYC Bar says you got to go with the Rays here. Or no, under here. Here's Rays on the run line. Noli's here today. And boy, if Noli's giving us the under here on this one, you better just go with it. It feels like. Thank you, Noli. The widely reported steam did come in on the under here. 9 Legacy Tampa run line. Luis is on the under here. Jermaine says maybe it's a fade the rookies day today. Cash Kane says lay it big time here with the Rays right now. The Royals have been playing pretty good, but then somebody shot me down and said, yeah, they were playing the Rockies. Here's Redbeard. Team total under for Kansas City today. And Jermaine says, well, that's a tricky one, Jermaine, right? He says he likes Job, but Job's going up against another rookie. So I guess you can't fade both teams in the Detroit-Houston game. So Jermaine says, give me Job. All right. Anyways, I don't think that's a fair number. Rasmussen is pretty decent. That's for sure. And Spoon says a Rays with a 78 WRC plus against lefties here, and says that stadium playing under big time at night. All right. Well, I'll make my call in this one here between Kansas City and Tampa Bay. We got to get this show moving here, but this does look like one of the most solid unders of the day. There's feels like no doubt about it, actually. I'm going to take Kansas City on the, well, let me make sure here. I think I'm taking them on the run line, another chalky run line here, but I'll take them plus a run and a half. I think it's minus $1.50 today. All right. Next up, you got the Boston Red Sox here going up against the Blue Jays. And let me make sure we get the starting. Well, we know Lucas Giolito. I mean, that's one of the biggest stories of the day, it feels like right now, right? With Giolito here getting the start, his season debut. It obviously took a little longer than expected to get Giolito up here today in the major leagues. It is season debut together right now, but he's here and made it. So what will we get out of Lucas Giolito in his debut here today? He obviously signed that big deal in the offseason. He needed some rehab appearances to kind of get through and get ready for this one, but he's going up here against what do we know actually about the Blue Jays pitching situation today? Okay, looks like here, oh man, we've seen some of these where even I've called the called the pitcher and then we find out they've changed. But maybe right now, maybe you guys can help me, but it feels like right now Yariel Rodriguez should be the pitcher today here, at least starting for Toronto. You could see a combination of guys here right now. Obviously, this does feel like a bit of a bullpen situation here coming into this one. Let's see how you guys have it with Boston and Toronto here today. All right, here we go. Feels like just an opener here, right, for Toronto. And let's see how you guys are going to play this one. Very interesting here with Giolito making his first start of the season. Boston pretty hot right now. They've won 9 of their last 13 games. Coming into this one, they are 17-14 overall on a 3-game winning streak. Toronto's lost 3 in a row, including the first game of this series, 10-2. Boston beat Cleveland 2-1 in that last series. Meanwhile, Toronto lost 2 out of 3 to the Yankees after winning the first game of the series, but got blown out yesterday 10-2. And Giolito here favored. We at least put Rodriguez in here, I think. Got my Blue Jays fans in the chat, so maybe they can clean it up a little bit and see if I'm in the right spot here with these guys. Just a few more games to go here on the Morning Steam Show. Will Giolito be ready here? I have a feeling he might be. Luis is on the Jays, though. Here's Cash Kane on the Jays. Cash also the over. Nuke likes the Sox here on the run line. And 9 Legacy likes the Blue Jays on the money line. Oops, I heard a few more here. Nope, that's it.
Lineup.
That's it. I'm going to trust Giolito here going up against what looks like a piecemeal pitching here today for Toronto. And obviously, Blue Jays fans are frustrated right now. I'm going with the Red Sox here. I expect Giolito to be ready, actually, here today. Cash Kane says the rookies could struggle here today. And look, I think the thing here for a guy like Yariel Rodriguez here at this point. I mean, he's obviously not a rookie. I mean, he started plenty of games last season. He just hasn't started one yet this season. He's clearly an opener if he's listed as the starter here. He's only pitched 11 innings and 10 starts so far this season. Last year he started 21 games and could go a little further. But remember, he was just I don't know what he had a very bad win-loss record. I know that. Okay, here's Corbin Burns against. I'm going to fix this up with Brazoban here, right? I think for the Mets here today, right? With Brazoban. I think everybody agrees right now, Brazoban, and that's going to make the Diamondbacks here $1.15 favorite in this one, and the total currently is at 8 or maybe even 8.5 here right now. Yeah, 8.5 for sure. With these two, so let's see what you got here with the Diamondbacks taking on the Mets. Diamondbacks now have still over 500, but the Mets were able to get the win yesterday, 8-3 at home, impressively here with that win, and the Mets crushed the Diamondbacks. But Corbin Burns goes today for the Diamondbacks. Burns comes in with, so far, questions abound, it feels like, with Burns here in the starting slot here in this one today, because for Burns so far, 4.05 ERA, 2.86 BABIP. He's 0-1 in 5 starts. He's gone over in 4 of those 5 starts. For Brazoban, he's definitely just an opener here. He's made 13 appearances already, just 1 start. 1.56 ERA, 2.38 the BABIP coming in for Brazoban, but it is definitely a bullpen situation here today for the Mets. So, but they did the job yesterday, and they did it convincingly. And let's see how you guys have this one today between the Mets and the Diamondbacks. I'm going with the over here in this one. I've already made up my mind. And we'll see what you guys have. I want to speed up the show here a little bit. Okay, here we go with Spoon says it's got to be the Red Sox here today. And Luis is on the Mets. Cash King is on the over here. 9 Legacy, Mets money line, NYC bar leaning to the over here. And Cash King says Burns' best days might be behind him, huh? All right, let's continue to move on here. Real quick on this one, we got Joe's pick on the over here. We could just leave it at that. He came in here, said go over with Myers and Smith. I'm going to say this about this game here, okay, with the Brewers and the White Sox. Obviously, the Brewers are favored on the road here with Myers starting in this one. Let me get the numbers anyway with them. But look, the key from this game feels to me like it's Seth Smith. Now, Myers is 0-1 with a 4.5 ERA and 2.31 BABIP. But for Seth Smith here, 1-1 with a 2.3 ERA. The White Sox are 1-4 with Smith. But the numbers are good for Smith. Oops, let me get the right graphic up here. The numbers are good with Smith, and he is a Rule 5 off of the Brewers. The White Sox got him Rule 5 from the off of the Brewers. So I don't know if it's Smith, I think he faced the Brewers already once too, but still, I want to give him a little bit of credit here. The move is apparently on the White Sox here. It's down from $1 as high as $1.85 on nearly a 30-cent move at some of the books here. I know it's the White Sox, so look. Joe went with the over. I'm not going to get in Jover's way right now here if he's going to be nice enough to come in and give us his the under play of the day on the over. So I'm going to take the White Sox here on the run line with Seth Smith. He's looked good, obviously. Like I say, a Rule 5 guy from Milwaukee. And I said, stop me if I ever play the White Sox again, but I'm not one of those guys. I don't have a do not bet list. Even these guys are 7-22. I'm going to take the White Sox on the run line today. Just playing that angle a little bit. Let's see here. Cash Cane maybe on the under. That's it for that one. Let's get to the last game of the night, and the show will be over. Thank you, everybody, for joining me here on the morning steam. We got daytime baseball coming up for sure. Athletics taking on the Rangers here with Severino going up against Nathan Eovaldi. Eovaldi solid here so far. 2.21 ERA, 0.73 whip. Real good numbers. 183 batting average against. Still $1.50, $1.55, even $1.60 at some of the books. 8.5 over in this one. Severino. Well, look, you get what you pay for. 3.49 ERA, 210 batting average against, and 234 BABIP here in this one. Look, Texas game finally went over last night. I took a loss there. Remember, Texas has gone under in 11 of 13 games at home, I think, so far this season, right? It's been wild. Now, yesterday they got a bunch of runs, so it didn't go over, but it was only because of a big outburst, 15 runs by the Texas Rangers. Still, the Rangers are 2-13 to the under at home this season. You got Eovaldi pitching well, and Severino, supposed to be the A's ace here this season. So see how you want to play it here right now. I'm going to have to go one way or the other I'm just going to take Texas as another chalky play. I want to come on here and talk about all my winners tomorrow and not mention the odds and just say we had Texas, we had this favorite, we had that favorite. And I'm hoping the favorites win today because I was getting a little too cute maybe the last couple of nights, it feels like. Luis is on the under here, and how can you disagree? That looks like it's it for the morning steam. You guys can make one more comment on that play if you want, but I'm ready to wrap up the show and get the drawing going and get on out of here. Thank you for spending a little more than 2 hours with me talking sports and sports betting today. Really appreciate everybody here. We rolled with about 75 of you most of the morning on the lives, so really appreciate it. And don't forget, you guys can, if you'd like, I'm going to send out some plays here in a little bit with my Major League Baseball selections for the afternoon action, and then maybe I'll break it up into some evening action and also have my favorite NBA and NHL player or two here with my premium picks over at winnable.com. Also, I'll have free picks. Hey, I had the winner last week in the Live Golf Tournament, and we're going to have our golf coverage here from the boys coming up, as well as First Strike is going to go on tonight. And yesterday, VB MMA picks. We had noted MMA analyst Colin Crandall join us for VB MMA picks as we're getting ready for UFC Des Moines this week with Sandhagen versus Figueiredo. Top 5 bantamweights go in. Sandhagen, a huge favorite, even though you have the number 4 and number 5 contenders in the bantamweight division. Sandhagen's like a $4 favorite over Diaz and Figueiredo, the veteran Brazilian. Here, they both come in off of losses as a pretty big dog, but nonetheless, they'll battle it out in the bantamweight division. Also, the co-main event this week is extremely interesting with Reynard de Ritter going up against Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel's been over a dime favorite in every fight, I think, in the UFC. He's only minus 300 this week in the middleweight bout against Reynard de Ritter, who's 2-0 in the UFC, and he beat Holland back in January, and he's looked good in both those UFC fights there, Reynard de Ritter. He's the 13th ranked contender in the middleweight division. Bo Nickel, the darling of the UFC, they brought him along so slowly here. He's 29 years old. It seems like we've been having him in the UFC for 2 or 3 years now with 4 fights, and well, now he's kind of a tough matchup here. He's technically not even the featured fighter in this fight, although he is, because he's Bo Nickel, but he's a $3 favorite. But check it out over at on the videos tab, the live tab, for VB MMA picks this week. All right, let's get to the drawing here. And we'll have the rugby video. We talked with Dan last night. And just really exciting times. Okay, here we go. I'm excited. All right, here we go with the drawing. I think we had one consensus play. What are we drawing for here? The only consensus play today was the Lakers. Okay, well, somebody's going to get a one-teamer. And, hey, we're getting up to like 250, 300 views. Someone here might win $2.70. All right, well, it's not about that. It's about doing this. Cash Kane, Jerry, Oldie, Robert, Fernando, NYC Bar, Wine Time, Twisted, Fernando, Robert McCormick, AOD, Tremaine, and Stop Geo. Stop Geo's won for like the 10th time. Thank you, Stop Geo, for stopping by every day and joining us. So Stop Geo is a drawing winner here. And, well, maybe you can win $2.70 because we didn't have any consensus play. We need Thomas back. I think Thomas is just on hiatus here at this point. He stopped by. He's been playing tennis in the morning, I guess. And I'd rather see Thomas get out there and, I should be doing some exercise too. So thank you to Thomas if he is hearing this right now. Okay, that's going to be it for the show. Thank you, everybody. You have a great day, and let's get some winners tonight. And we'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Don't forget, Mikey Money joins you here, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific with pre-gaming. Mikey's going to get you ready for the prime time action, including that late slate in Major League Baseball. We'll leave him with 10 games here tonight to go over, and the 5 games in the playoffs. So that's going to do it. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. Have a great day.
I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steal. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.